Good morning, YouTube, and today we have ourselves a B.E.S deck profile. This deck just got a new card from Rising Rampage, so I figured I'd throw a little bit of tweaks in there and give it a little bit of an update, because I still play this deck from time to time. It's my own little take on it. There are a bunch of other ones out there, so let's hop into it. Starting off with our monsters, we run a playset of B.E.S Blaster Cannon Core. This is the new card that came out from Rising Rampage. Gives you the deck an additional special summon. The nice part about it is it doesn't require your opponent to have a monster and you not to. It just requires your opponent to have more monsters. So it gives you the ability to put them in attack or defense, which makes it nice. And he has the same effect as all of them do, in that they gets counters, you remove counters, prevent him from being destroyed. If he doesn't have any counters, blows himself up. Very nice addition to the deck, gives the deck a nice little extra push, and lets you play even when you don't have Zelos. Next, run a playset of B.E.S Big Core Mark III. This card gives you additional special summon of a monster if your opponent controls monsters and you don't. His secondary effect is really wonderful. It lets you shuffle back into your deck some B.E.S monsters, give you some nice little recursion right there. All around great card. It's the beefiest monster of the entire deck, especially with Zelos. Becomes 3200 beat stick, not bad in the least bit. We run a playset of B.E.S Big Core Mark II. He's normal summonable if your opponent controls a monster and you don't, which is kind of gimmicky and weird, but it gives you some ability to summon a monster in this deck that I don't run anything below 5 stars monsters in. So it's really nice to keep in there. We run a playset of B.E.S Tetran. This gives you some back row hate and the big booty if you need it. All around additional name makes the deck pop off. Very nice. Next, we run 2 of B.E.S Crystal Core. This is a great card in the fact that it allows you to switch battle position of a monster without having to use a counter up, which is very nice. With our nice little tech in here, this card gives it a little bit more versatility. But we only run 2 because we already have a high enough monster count as it is. And we run 2 of B.E.S Covered Core. I took out Big Core because the deck has enough monsters now. It's pretty nice. Nice part about Covered Core is he is a beefy monster. If you bring him out with Zealous, 3000 attack, and he doesn't necessarily get destroyed because you get the option of the coin flip, which is kind of nice. You could argue probably running a Crystal Core or even just nixing this and replacing it with some Ash or some hand traps if you want to, but I like it in here because it gives you some more names of B.E.S. Our fun little gimmick in here, we run 2 Kumungus, Gamma Seal, Gardala, and Dogoran. We run a swift amount of Kaijus in here because the ability to just pop over your monsters, you're most likely going to have monsters with more attack, which is very nice. Gets some spot removal, which is definitely something the deck kind of needs. And the nice part about Gardala and Dogoran is that if you use the Crystal Core, you can just get over them with it. So it's a nice little additional gimmick in the deck. You can definitely argue replacing it with just hand traps and preventing your opponent from getting the field so that you don't have to react and tribute over them. But it also gives you a nice little tech in the deck and makes it fun. The heart and soul of any B.E.S deck is the B.E.S Zelos. It has 5 different effects. It gives you search, protection, power boost, all around one of the best designed field spell cards there is in the game. All around fantastic card. I won't bore you with the entire effect. Great card. You should definitely play it at 3. I run a playset of Boss Rush. Yes, this is a little bit much for B.E.S, but I like to have it because A, you can see it, B, I think it's stackable. Correct me if I'm wrong, those of you more experienced B.E.S players, but I like it at 3 because then you can see it and just get it pop off. You can arguably just bump it down to 1, but I like it at 3. We run the 1 Lonely Terraforming. Very, very sad. But we run plenty of ways to get around that aspect. Run a set rotation, which gives you some, again, just allows you to straight up activate it. And the Oracle Zephyra. If you play set rotation, you know Oracle Zephyra can't be activated unless your opponent has a target for Oracle Zephyra, which is not likely going to be the case. So your opponent can activate field spells. Very nice, very nice. We run Kyoto Waterfront because this gives you another option in case you draw the Oracle Zephyra, even though it's a one-off, or if you banish it with Desires. Additionally, as well, Kyoto Waterfront's always a great field spell, and naturally, because, we run the 5 Kaijus, so it gives you that searchability and the ability to just have some presence. We run only 2 Interrupted Kaiju Slumbers. I was contemplating putting 3, but then I was like, oh, too many dead draws. So we run it only at 2. Great card all around. Board wipes are pretty cool. Run a playset of Pod Desires. You could definitely argue about playing Extravagance instead of Desires or on top of Desires, but it does just about exactly the same thing, so we run it since we have it. We run 2 Supply Squad. Yes, this is gimmicky. Yes, you should probably replace this with something different, but I like it because it gives you a little bit of an extra consistency because your monsters will be destroying themselves right and left. So it's kind of old and gimmicky, but I like it, so I keep it in here. We don't like back row, so we play set of Twin Twisters. So with Kaijus plus Twin Twisters, your opponent doesn't like you. And rounding up, we have only the 1 trap card, Metaverse, because it allows you to activate Zelos during your opponent's turn, or just gives you that extra little bit of a search. Yes, it doesn't make up for Terraforming 100%. Yes, there are probably, you can play Planet Pathfinders instead, but I like it as is. Moving on to our X deck. You can really put anything you want to in here. It's very open. Again, more justifiability to play Extravagance. Starting off, we play the Mega Fleet, the 2 Mega Fleet monsters, and the Nightmare Mermaid. This just gives you the option to react in case your opponent's playing something that you need the out to. So we play it just because we have plenty of space in here. We play one. This is kind of a fun new card. I read it at the sneak peek and I was like, wow, this is actually kind of cool. It can do something. A Barricade Blocker. When it is linked summon, you can discard a card, and then during the end phase, you can add a field spell or continuous card from your graveyard to your hand. I believe, yes. You can, and it protects your face-up, field spell, and continues cards. So it's a nice little thing. It only has 1,000 attacks, so it's very easy to get over, but it gives you a little bit of extra protection of Zelos. Yes, you could argue playing Field Barrier or some other protection is better than playing this guy, but, you know, since we don't run it because we play it the way we want to, we have the 1 Barricade Blocker, which is kind of fun. We run an Underclock Taker, a Clifford Genius, a Nightmare Phoenix, Nightmare Cerebus, just because you have the opportunity to. Decode Talker, Blackluster Soldier. Again, this can be anything you want it to be. We run a True King of All Calamities, because now we have some 9s to throw in here. We run a Hope Harbinger, which is kind of nice. Photon the Strike Bouncer for some spot removal, since the most monsters you have in here are going to be your level 6s. Mecha Phantom Beast, Draco Sack, and a Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. Again, you don't really need any of these in here. They're just options that I've elected to go with. And that's going to wrap up our version of B.E.S. Yes, there are definitely better versions of this out there, but I've enjoyed it for what it is. It gets you your gets you the power that you need to win the game. The Kaijus give you the monster removal. The Twin Twisters give you the back row removal, as well as having the other B.S. monster pops back row. It's just an all-around, it's a fun deck. It's easier to pick up, both financially and understanding of the game, but there is a little bit of a ceiling where you can actually improve and do a little bit better. It's very reliant on Zelos, which is part of its downfall, but it's also its strength, because Zelos itself is fantastic and gives this deck the extra push to actually do something. So I hope you can gather something from this, make your own build, share it. I'd love to see it. This is definitely a fun deck, and I hope to play it for many years to come. Thanks, and have a great day.